Good win for our football team. Any Pac-12 win is 1-0 on the week, 5-1 on the season, and I tell you what, looking at the game without watching the film yet, it really felt like our defense did an amazing job after being put in some situations in some field positions with a muffed punt and a turnover offensively off a fumble. To be able to hold that team to, I believe, 3 points in the first half coming in there. I thought it was an amazing job, and they just continued to rally throughout the day. Thought we started fast offensively, coming out with two early scores, and then kind of lost flow for a little bit, got it back. We're coming right out of the gate again in the second half, and really only got the ball 2 times in the third quarter, both inside the 10-yard line, and scored on one of them. And then the final thing I saw was just the ability, and I told the kids in there, the ability to play a lot of younger players in this game, I think is really going to benefit us for the future. I look at 13 different receivers catching the ball in this game, a lot of freshmen, a lot of redshirt freshmen, some O-linemen, some big men playing in these games, and that's going to make you a stronger team as you go down the stretch here, is to be able to create that depth. Credit to T and to Clancy for getting those kids in and allowing them to perform, and credit old Matty Fink. Matt did a wonderful job of getting in there, making the most of his opportunity. I'd like to thank Coach Anderson personally for the class that he showed, for allowing us to get Jake in and to perform his craft. It was very nice. Credit to these 2 kids. I thought they did a wonderful job today. This one's becoming a superstar in the last 4 games and continues to show up in big ways as we enter the month of October here. With that, we'll take any questions that you have.
Clay, you said you wanted to see improvements offensively during the week. Did you see some of those improvements today?
Yeah, I thought in some areas I did. I really wanted to get out of the gate fast, and the opening drive as well as the next drive after the turnover, I really was what I was hoping would happen. I also wanted to see coming in at a halftime, make any adjustments that were there, and be able to sustain a drive right off the bat in the third quarter. That was good. That was a good thing. The bad thing was one of them happened on special teams. One of them happened offensively, is the 2 turnovers that all of a sudden you allow another team to have inside the plus 50. One, I thought it lost us rhythm, but also it puts a terrible hurt on your defense to be able to put them in that position. Credit our defense for really holding up there. And big Kenny Bigelow with a block field goal today was really cool too.
Coach, obviously a lot of injuries have plagued the offensive front so far this season, but what kind of a job do you think those guys did up front today?
Well, we'll have to watch the tape. I feel like some of it was good and some of it was off. I know we missed an opportunity for a big shot. We had a man wide open on a vertical concept where we got the sack fumble, and should not have been hot there. So somebody came free off either a physical beat. I think it's going to end up turning into a misassignment. But I thought it was some good and some bad. And when you look up and you're playing with 2 true freshmen and Clayton Johnson, who I think is doing a nice job going in there for his first time, getting a lot of reps. Not bad. Not bad. I wouldn't call it great yet, but we're moving forward.
Rojo, did you feel pretty comfortable behind an offensive line that was down a few several starters?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. I've been practicing with those guys all week. We trust our preparation, things like that, so I felt comfortable, just trusting the reads and hitting holes the same like I usually do.
Ronald, how much did the heat affect your play and the team's play? It was pretty hot down there.
Yeah, it was pretty hot, but I don't think it affected us. Like, we practice in the middle of the day, so the heat, our conditioning, that's not really a factor.
Clay, with some of the turnovers, Sam's interception, what do you think happened on that play? I know you have.
I know the 1 sack fumble just gets it knocked out of his hands. You sit there as a quarterback a lot of times, and you don't expect to be hot in that situation. It was a 5-man pressure, I think a cross-dog pressure, and then it sneaks up on you and takes you by shock. Actually, he worked the correct side on the interception, worked the correct side. It just did not see the interior linebacker. He had cloud coverage to that side trying to hit a corner route. Corner triggered, but the inside interior backer flew and just didn't see him. Something that we gotta just correct and move on.
Christian, why are you shaking your head no when Coach is saying you turn into a superstar right before our eyes? I mean, obviously been a big part of this defense this year, and you're playing really well.
Yeah, I just like to be pretty humble about where I started and where I am now, and so as I'm seeing this, I guess, popularity or more notoriety come to me, I just like to keep my head down and prepare week in and week out like I always been doing.
Does it still kind of feel the same though, day in and day outs?
Yeah, it's still a grind, but we always try to chase that 1-0 on the week.
Brandon Healy played for the first time. What went into the decision not to redshirt this year?
Really, Marlon being down and not knowing exactly where Marlon's going to be for the future. We felt like we needed another interior big man, and we'll see where Marlon is. He's going to visit with the doctors this weekend, and we'll have more of a view of where he's at. He's played in 4 games, so if we do need to do anything to surgically, he would be able to have his redshirt year back, and so that will weigh into the decision. But at this point in time, not knowing the prognosis, we needed another big man, and Brandon's light has kind of come on in practice, and wanted to get him out there and get him going.
Coach, is Tyler Vaughn's doing things better than he was at the beginning of the year? Is he just getting more of an opportunity?
I think he's one of those kids that we talk about improving. He has improved from game 1 to where he is now. He's the leading receiver again today with 5 catches on the day, and you can see I've always felt like a quarterback starts out with a group of men, and they go to war, and they and get reps together and experience together, and that trust is built and that chemistry is built. Well, we're starting to see that. He's got that with Deontay. He's got that with Steven Mitchell. You start feeling it now with the Tyler Vaughns. It was great to get Michael Pittman out there healthy, making a couple plays out there. So it was great to get Josh Follow involved in his first touchdown catch. So as these young kids grow up, there's going to be more of a chemistry, and there's a bunch of them. You saw 13 of them catch the ball today, and we just got to get them on the same page 100% of the time.
Clay, given that you're going to face Utah and then Notre Dame, you're at the midpoint of the season, how comfortable are you where the team is right now? Are you pleased with where they're at?
Nowhere near finished product, just being honest. There's going to be some things that we're going to see on this tape today that that frustrate you as a coach, and there's going to be some things that you look at and say, wow, we're progressing in this area. It is October, and that's our hallmark here has been to improve in the month of October and take big leaps. So we have two major competitors coming up. Utah's leading the South right now. And we're sit right behind them. So obviously it's going to be a huge game for us next week.
Without the benefit of having looked at the film, what frustrates you right now?
I've never been partial to turnovers. I think they get you out of flow, get you out of rhythm, and we'll see what happened on the sack fumble. Know what happened on the pass, but those are things that you look up and. You look up, you got 38 points, you took a knee, you got over 500 yards again, and you're still inside. No, there's more out there. That's a good thing. When you have over 500 yards and your guts are hurting inside that we left more out there, that's a good feeling to have. If that's your worst day, be happy.
Let's do one more. For Western Michigan, you called Coach Lester before the game. Did you do something similar with?
I talked to Coach Anderson prior to the game, as well as our referees. I always make sure that everybody is on the same page. And again, credit to the class of Gary Anderson and Oregon State, as well as the Pac-12 referees, to be able to allow us to set everything up and call timeout. Everybody on the same page, and first class by Oregon State.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.